buildings in Canada still contain asbestos, but that's about to change following a new announcement. Concern is growing in the international community over civilians in Aleppo as evacuations get underway. And 'tis the season for giving at Humber College as Christmas approaches and charitable programs pop up on campus. Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Claire Jenkins, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. A fragile ceasefire allowing civilians and opposition fighters to escape from the besieged city of Aleppo. A procession of buses have been leaving the city all day. Around 1,000 people have already fled the Eastern District today. Syrian state TV says about 4,000 rebel fighters and their families would be transported from the area throughout the day. The Russian Ministry of Defense says the Syrian government is guaranteeing safe passage for anyone willing to leave. 50,000 people are still trapped in the city and say they're afraid that if they leave, they'll be shot by pro-government forces. There have been reports of gunfire against the convoys. The battle for Aleppo has gone on for 4 years. The UN estimates about 400,000 people have been killed since 2011. The federal government has announced it will ban asbestos in Canada by 2018. The cancerous material is the top cause of workplace death in the country. The ban will prohibit imports, exports, and all products. Other countries that have already banned asbestos include Australia, Britain, Japan, and Sweden. On the opposite side of the spectrum, China and Russia are the world's largest consumers. More than 2,000 people die each year in Canada because of exposure by inhalation. If not properly protected, people can develop cancer, most commonly mesothelioma, which is caused when asbestos fibers stick to the inside of the lungs and create scar tissue. Asbestos is a fibrous material that was commonly used in building products beginning in the 1920s. Canada was one of the largest exporters up until 5 years ago when the last mine in Quebec closed. Thousands of homes in Canada built with asbestos products still exist, with many in Quebec, but the ban will limit exposure to workers. Fire crews in Port Colborne are working to recover the bodies of a mother and her 2 children from the home that was destroyed yesterday by the fire. Firefighters pulled 83-year-old Eva Bird from the burning home yesterday, but were unable to save her life. The Port Colborne fire chief says it's dangerous to enter the home because of fire damage and ice buildup. Niagara police say weather is also complicating attempts to find the mother and her 2 children. Investigators estimate it will take nearly 3 days to clear debris and determine the cause of the fire. In Chile, several wildfires near the capital have destroyed more than 100 makeshift homes and displaced hundreds of people. The fires broke out in poor neighborhoods north of the city. Firefighters were hampered because of a lack of access to water and taps in the area. Authorities say residents have been moved to nearby schools for shelter. 6 firefighters were injured, suffering from smoke inhalation. Yahoo says more than 1 billion accounts have been exposed in a newly discovered security breach. The accounts were hacked in 2013, but just revealed yesterday. It's the largest security breach in history. Yahoo disclosed another cyber attack in September that happened in 2014. It affected 500 million accounts. Yahoo says the stolen information may include names, email addresses, telephone numbers, dates of birth, and passwords. But bank account information is believed to not be affected. President-elect Donald Trump may have more to worry about than building a wall between the U.S. and Mexico. Authorities have uncovered 2 new tunnels under the border. The tunnels were discovered running between Tijuana and San Diego, California. Authorities say they featured electricity and an advanced air conditioning system. They say the tunnels were used by the Sinaloa cartel for drug trafficking. The cartel is led by infamous kingpin El Chapo, who's in jail awaiting extradition to the U.S. The Austrian parliament has approved a bill to seize the house that Adolf Hitler was born in. The move was taken as a first step towards changing the site completely, or it could be eventually demolished. The government wants the house to be changed beyond recognition so neo-Nazis wouldn't use it as a pilgrimage site. The bill must now be passed by the upper house. The government says the building could be used for charitable purposes after its conversion. To Australia now, where a statue commemorating Korean comfort women is causing tension between the South Korean and Japanese communities in Sydney. And now a local Japanese group has lodged a legal complaint against it. A statue is displayed in a Sydney church. It's meant to symbolize the tens of thousands of Korean women who were forced to work as sex slaves for Japanese soldiers during the Second World War. The complaint has been lodged with Australia's Human Rights Commission, saying the statue stirs up anti-Japanese feeling. It says the statue offends, insults, and humiliates Japanese Australians. Here at Humber, the semester is nearly over, and with the holidays just days away, people are looking to make someone's life better. Leah Richardson has the story.
You might not know that Humber is hosting different charity drives throughout the school.
I usually give money donations, but if the time I would like to actually volunteer at a charity.
Some feel that all drives are important, from financial to food and toy giveaways.
I think everything, toy drives, well, for kids who can't afford it, and food, money for people who really need it.
Humber is giving back by holding raffle fundraisers and food drives with plenty of baked goods and lots of toys to give away. Some shared how they will give back during this holiday season.
A thing that I do at Christmas with my son that I've done over the last number of years is we go to Plan Canada, and rather than giving gifts to our family, we give gifts in kind, such as motorcycle ambulances for a village or equipping a school and things like that. So we like to do that because we already have enough. We already have way too much. So because of that, we don't get really materialistic and say how many gifts can we get for each other and things like that in our family. So we try to promote that, and hopefully he continues to promote that too.
Maybe this will encourage people to think of others during this time and get in the holiday spirit. Some feel that the act of gift giving for family and friends is more effective, but others give through charities and drives as they feel it's more meaningful. Leah Richardson, Humber News.
NASA sent its newest satellites into space today in an effort to better understand and forecast hurricanes. The Cygnus satellites were designed to use radio waves to read and record hurricane wind speeds. They can also read the surface roughness of waves on the ocean and around a hurricane. Current weather satellites aren't strong enough to see through the intense weather a hurricane generates. The new system will be able to take readings every 7 hours instead of the current 3-day interval. The Cygnus satellites are each the size of a small suitcase and weigh 64 pounds. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Hunter Crowther will have your 3-day weather forecast.
Well, I forgot my gloves, so I suggest you check and double check before you walk out the door. The entire GTA is freezing right now, but here in Etobicoke Rexdale, it feels like minus 22. Today's high is minus 8. I'll have your 3-day weather forecast after the break.
A rare Malayan tiger cub has made her debut at the Lowry Park Zoo for the first time. Barisi was born in September and is living her life with her mother. Zoo officials say there are only 250 Malayan tigers left up in the world. Barisi and her mother are part of the zoo's species survival plan. Malayan tigers are critically endangered, and mainly because of poaching and loss of habitat. If 2016 couldn't get any scarier, a new warning has been issued in Alberta that is unlike many others. Alberta Parks is sounding an ominous warning to drivers traveling around Kananaskis country. The moose are at it again, licking salt off parked vehicles. Don't panic, but stop, drop, and roll will not help you here. Travelers whose cars have been taken hostage by a salt-hungry moose are told to sound their alarm or use the remote door alarm. Do not try to move the moose yourself, and stay safe this holiday season.